Hi, this is Andra from Dota Blast. I'm at the Frankfurt Major, joined by Nahaz. Hi Nahaz, how are you?
I am great. We've had a great day at Dota so far.
How has the Frankfurt Major been so far?
It's been a little bit weird for me personally because, of course, I had to come to the event a little bit late. I taught class on Monday afternoon, hopped on a plane, and then was here on Tuesday. And then, of course, lost my voice. All of Twitch chat thought I was dead, but I'm back today, feeling really good and watching some great Dota.
So you're actually a university professor.
Yeah.
What are you teaching exactly?
So I teach, this term, I teach financial economics and applied econometrics, which is basically economic statistics. Really good students. I teach at University of Western Ontario, where I moved from Chicago a couple of years to run a master's program in finance up there. Really great school and great people. It's a lot of fun.
Are your students familiar with Dota 2 and your...
Increasingly, yes. My students this term, of course, this is the third LAN I've traveled to, so, and I am on Twitter, so they know where I am and what I'm doing, and some care and some don't, but it's kind of fun. There are an increasing number of students that are into esports now. Not surprisingly, there are a couple of them that told me, man, you got to start doing CSGO. So it's kind of a cool thing back and forth from me to them.
Can you take a lot of time off and travel to LANs, or is it getting increasingly difficult to do that?
I'm not sure what we'll end up doing next term, because this teaching term has been by far the busiest that I've ever had in my career, trying to fit 3 LANs in and maybe even planning some in December as well. Just my poor wife is dealing with it very well. She's very tolerant of my little hobby here, but I really am. It helps that we're both academics. She teaches at the business school across the street from me, so her schedule is a little bit flexible as well. But it's hard. It's just hard to find time.
You should introduce her to the scene, and you guys should travel together to LANs and...
So we've talked about doing that, and we actually we may at some point. We have a 2-year-old daughter right now, and as she puts it to me, her idea of fun is not chasing a 2-year-old around this place while I'm up there on the panel, and I can't really blame her for that.
Can you see your daughter getting into an esports career?
I hope so. I think as esports grows, one of the big things that I hope that we'll see is the community expanding. It's obviously dominated primarily by men right now.
Why do you think is that?
I just think the gaming. There are particular aspects of the gaming culture that have always been male oriented, and this goes back. It goes back before video games. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons all the way back was you go to Gen Con when I was a kid, and it would be primarily men as well. It's just it's a part of the culture that culture and norms take time to change, and I think we're working in that direction, and hopefully we'll get there soon.
Yeah, but theoretically, women should be perfectly capable of playing Dota 2.
And they are. And there's no. This is the important thing that I say to everybody is that there's no reason why women can't succeed at all aspects of this industry that men have. It's just, I think, really just a matter of time. There are a lot of things that are changing and maturing about this industry as we grow. This is one of the things. I'm an economist by trade, okay? This is one of the things that you see with all kinds of growing industries, that they start off very niche-y and they become more mainstream. And it's not, people say, oh, you guys are selling out. It's not about selling out. It's about, we believe in the potential of esports and we want Dota to be all it can be.
And do you think it's going to continue to grow from now on and develop, or has it already reached its peak around Tier 5?
Why wouldn't it? And I had this discussion with Toby and others around TI4, who honestly thought, they said, look, TI4 is great, but
that's it.
But that's it. This is we can maybe do this again next year, but we just don't have that much more room to grow. And now you hear people talk about, well, gaming life cycles, is Dota reaching the end of its gaming life cycle, or are we kind of in the tail end? You know what, for me, I'm a data guy. I believe it when I see it. And to me, the scene continues to grow. The compendium for Frankfurt was huge again. I will believe in the decline of Dota when I see it, and I have seen zero signs so far.
you've said something about data, and it reminded me that the first time I saw you, I thought you bear a striking resemblance to Lieutenant Commander Data from Star Trek.
This is how I take my glasses off. Yes, that's one of my favorite memes, right? If I'm going to be confused with somebody, it might as well be somebody nerdy, right? It fits.
Yeah, so you really, really look like him physically. And not only that, because you're actually able to memorize and interpret all that data. So.
Hey, there are far worse people that I've been compared to. I will take it anytime.
Like an example.
Oh, Reddit and Twitter have as much fodder as they need already. I'm not going to feed them more.
How did you get into the scene? Because you're kind of new, aren't you? Did you start playing pubs like casually, or?
Completely a sequence of accidents. I've told this story before, but the long story short, I got into the scene. I have a brother-in-law who's 14 years younger than me. I was looking for a way to relate to him, and it happened to be that I spent a week on vacation with my in-laws like a week after I heard Toby cast the first international. And so I happened to bring up Dota with him, and he was a Warcraft 3 Dota player. So we got our beta keys together, and he sort of taught me the game. And that was around the same time I had done baseball and college basketball statistics as a hobby, but was getting bored. And when I started watching Pro Dota, I saw a lot of the same kind of strategic principles, a lot of the same potential for the use of data in a completely new environment. And like I say, I happen to love Dota, and I want to continue working with this game as long as I can, but I think there's a tremendous potential in other esports as well.
Do you play Dota though?
I do. I don't get I get hardly any time to play these days. Just this term, I have hardly played at all, which kills me. But it's just there's only so much time, and when you prep for events like this, and you're me, you play a few pub games just to try out some of the balance changes with different patches, so that you have hands-on experiences with all the heroes. But I don't have time to grind MMR anymore.
Okay, and how does your wife react to all your Dota 2 activities?
I think one of the best pieces of advice that I can give to anybody is you marry a woman who's way too good for you, because she is not threatened by anything. She's like, you know what? I just want you to be happy. Go do your own thing. It's not like you're gonna, there's no way I'm ever gonna do better than her. It's not like I'm gonna hook up with anybody at these LANs. So she's cool with it, and it's fortunate that we're both in academia, so we have the flexible schedules. We're both, we are professors of economics, not art history, so we have some financial security, and I'm able to kind of just do this and have fun. And hey, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Oh, it's my pleasure.